characters who are larger than life, even if it's a small life that they're describing, because his was the art of the detail and the small life, it's very easy to put him in a corner, a sort of downtown, cliched corner. Oh yeah, here's our, you know, our voice from the edges and ledges. There's deep structure to his work that goes back to Dante. There's a sense of language that goes back to, you know, the Gospels, plain spoken truth, and told without vanity, sometimes ego, but not vanity. And I really want to say that, because it's, you know, it's kind of easy to, because it's so easy to be lazy in that arena. There's a lineage there of the greatest and the poorest writers, and Hank is in with the greatest, of course. I grew into his work slowly. Some people would say to me, "Who are you reading?" Charles Bukowski, that's pornography. That guy, he wrote for porn magazines. He's not serious. He's just, you know, he's just the cause celeb. You know, he's just, I guess ghetto fabulous would have been what it was then. And I would say to them, you're so wrong, because I find this to be truthful. And I find this to amount to a new kind of language, to describe your circumstance, to find poetry amongst the litter and the garbage of your experience when your ambition is higher than your circumstance. And I never found it to be ugly. And you know, the truth is never ugly to God. The language of the Joshua Tree, there were some specific influences: Sam Shepard, the Motel Chronicles, Hank's language in something like, you know, we stoop so high to reach so low. I think that's Red Hill Mining Town. There was a certain American musicality to the language on that album, which he is definitely a part of. But I feel that the $1 Million Hotel is probably the biggest language, biggest influence. Not so much in the language, because I only co-wrote the story, but the sensibility. Search for love is the search for God. It's the same thing. And an unhappiness with the average and the mediocre is along the same lines. Pop culture reinforces the idea that everything's okay. You know, eat at McDonald's. You know, turn on the TV. Everything's okay, really. Rock and roll is about the idea that everything is not okay, and that God wants much better for us. That gnarly, irritable kind of, I hate the life that's in front of me on the table that you get from him, is part of a sense that, you know, I think that things ought to be better, and that the sort of the wreckage and the desolate escapes that we find around ourselves in an urban life are also to be found internally in our state of mind, or what you might call soul. If that's a spiritual point of view, and I think it is, then Hank was a spiritual guy. Love is rare in every sense. That love is rare, and so you have to surround it, protect it, bodyguard it, before you can squander it.